Welcome back to the 13th grade. My name's Elliot Schoner. Let's talk about another one percenter concept, and that is that you will be paid or compensated based on your contribution or your impact on society. So, guys, a lot of people end up choosing careers based on this idea that it's just something that they want to do, something that would make them happy. And in fact, most people will go back to, if you go back to like your childhood or something like that, your parents will often say to you, what is it that you want to be when you grow up? What do you like to do? And then have that to be your career. Some people will say, choose something you loved and you'll never feel like you work a day in your life. While that can be true, the wealthy will often tell their kids, yeah, go do that, but only if that has maximum impact. And by impact, I mean how many people's lives are you actually, impacting or affecting? If you affect a lot of people, you are going to be well compensated. If you affect only a small amount of people, you're going to be less compensated. It goes the same way with skill set. If you develop a skill that very few people have, you're going to be highly compensated. If you have a skill set that everyone has, you're going to be lower compensated. So if you want to ensure that you have the max amount of income coming into your pocket, ultimately you want to find a very, very highly skilled thing that you're going to do to create income. And you want to make sure that whatever that thing is, it impacts a crazy amount of people. So a really good example of that, and while now it seems like everyone can be a code or create websites or whatever, but when Mark Zuckerberg actually made Facebook for the very first period of time, like the internet was just getting started. And so there wasn't a whole lot of people that could actually code and just like develop a social media platform, right? And so when he was able to do that, he did something that was relatively high skilled at that particular time. And how many people could that affect? Well, worldwide, right? And so I think we've written the story in that he's obviously wildly successful. If you think about Jeff Bezos, for example, his not necessarily very high skilled. He had to put a lot of work into it, but he started selling books online basically out of his garage. Not very high skilled, but the scale that he could do it, he could affect a lot of people. Obviously, very successful, and obviously the what he does now is impacts people all over the world, right? But still generally kind of lower skilled. So you can be both high skilled and high impacting, make money, and be low skilled and reach a lot of people and actually still make a good amount of money. Where people start to get we're starting to run into trouble are jobs that are very high skilled, but they may only impact like a couple of people. A really good example of that is think of a brain surgeon. Think of a doctor neurosurgeon for like a pediatric neurosurgeon, right? So someone that works on or does surgery on little kids' brains. Like you have to be extremely highly skilled and probably trained for a gazillion years to be able to even do that, right? Let's just call it 15 years, right? And so while that is a very high skilled thing, you're really only affecting one person, right? You're doing surgery on that one person. Of course, family members and stuff like that are impacted. That's not what we're talking about. Your customer is the one person. So you can make a decent amount of money because you have a very high skilled position, but you're only doing it for like, that one person or a couple of people. It actually is not a really great way to make a tremendous amount of money because it's something called scalable. It's just simply not scalable, right? And on the flip side to that, um, if you're not affecting a whole lot of people and you're very kind of like unskilled, and so think about the restaurant worker or whatever, like how hard is it to like cook a basket of fries? Like it's not really hard. And then how many people you're really affecting? Like it's pretty small. Like it's just kind of your local community. You might have, a couple dozen customers a day, a couple hundred customers a day. But even if the customers, that's actually for the restaurant itself, like you might make, 50 or 60 orders of this thing that basically my 14-year-old could go and make fries, right? And so whether you're like super experienced or not really experienced, like to push a button, shake a basket, it's very unskilled. And that's why you can actually have, not very skilled, not very big impact, and you're not really gonna make necessarily a whole lot of money because the barrier of entry to that job is very, very easily. So again, supply and demand. So I want to recap that for you because I think it's a very important with our series here on the jobs and the careers that we pick and why it can be so important that you really, really think this through as far as what you want to do. Okay. Um, Again, high skilled and a lots of people. Okay. So very high skilled, lots of people. You are going to make a tremendous amount of a tremendous amount of money. And again, I would say high skilled and a lot of people. I had Elon Musk there. I'm not really sure what the reference is. I mean, yes, well, I guess, Tesla, for example. So very, very high skilled. Not everyone can build an electric car. However, he can sell that car literally all over the world and is one of the richest people today. So I guess a good example of that. Again, you can still be low skilled and have a lot of people. I said Jeff Bezos, a better example of that here pulling from the slide is an egg farmer. Actually, there's a very famous story that like there's an egg farmer. He just kind of like made eggs and he just got more chickens and just made more eggs and more eggs and more eggs. And he's like, a gazillionaire just selling eggs, right? And so it's not a very big skill level to watch a chicken lay an egg and to take the chicken and put it in a carton and stuff like that, not demeaning farmers. But the idea is like, it's not as high skilled as like, having to design the battery operation of a Tesla, right? So low skilled, but still affecting lots of people. Egg farmer, you can do very, 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 very well. You will actually make more money, low skilled, lots of people like the egg farmer than the heart surgeon, which is again high skilled with less people. All right. Again, high skill, less people. You've gone to school, maybe 15 years. You did your bachelor's, then you did your doctorate degree, and then you did residency, and then you did maybe a fellowship after that or whatever. Lots and lots of school, but only affecting them one person. And then again, if you're low skilled and you're not really doing a lot of people, lawn service is even better than the restaurant. I guess I should have looked at the slide before I did this video. Low skilled, less people, lawn service, you're really making the least amount of business. So, and again, so think about that. And I actually did this, gave this example in a couple of videos ago on the person I know that works for BMW, low skilled job in that this person is just selling cars. However, they've determined and figured out a way how to sell cars to a tremendous amount of people. Okay. Think about the people that are on all the social media right now. TikTok actually it's banned as we speak today, but TikTok, they're on there just selling like cars and things like that. Very easy to stand there and be like, "Oh, buy this thing or whatever." But if you can get several thousands of people a day to buy that thing, and you're making a couple of bucks off each one of those things, you can make actually a pretty good amount of money. So when you're choosing your career, again, think about should I be going to college? Should I not be going to college? What's the return on investment on that? If I'm choosing a degree or a job, is that job scalable? Like, can it affect a lot of people, especially if it's potentially going to be low skilled? Let me try to find something that can really scale and affect a lot of people. And then the added component that we're doing, which we're introducing in this course, is if as we do that and as we generate revenue, egg farmer, whatever, can I use the tax code in some advantage that allows me to keep the majority of my money so that I can deploy it in a better way into other investments? So hopefully that makes sense to you. Very easy concept, but honestly, a concept that a lot of people overthink when you're choosing a job, when you're asking your children, what job do you want to be, you should not be saying to them, hey, what do you love to do? Go do that as a job. That can ensure you end up being poor for the rest of your life. Instead, you should say, hey, son, what is the highest skill Or what is a job that you can do that is scalable that can affect a lot of people that you would like to do? And if they say, I want to do this particular job, then you can start to think to yourself, okay, is this a low skill, but a lot of people where I don't necessarily need a degree to do that? I can just get going right now. Great. Or is this a high skilled? Do I need to go to college to do that? In some cases, even though you might choose, I'll take the low skill, a lot of people, versus going the high skill, a lot of people, because you don't want to necessarily do the degree and all of that comes with that and expenses and all that comes with it. So, hope that makes sense. Until next time.